Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Lion Bear Report. I'm Spaceline,
I'm Kodiak.
and we're here with Week 5 action. Hopefully, got that right.
That seems right.
The weeks are flying by.
Yeah.
Feels like we're halfway at the season, which I guess we kind of are, but still some
Not quite.
time left for all those playoff spot chasers. Speaking of, how's your playoff chase going?
Bad. Uh, Played Lizardman this week. It was a game where I should have won it if I was gonna have a good run would include this would be one of the games I win. And
Yeah.
I just could not get an armor braid going for the longest time.
Oh,
And it's I'm sending all this claw after the lizards and just nothing happening. Really frustrating.
mm-hmm.
And I ended up losing the match. So not loving that. The one silver lining was I got MVP. I had to buy a new Nurgle Warrior because one just straight up died, and he got the MVP.
Oh,
So that's great, right? Like I've been getting
wow.
Rotter MVP after Rotter MVP. So finally, when I need it to go somewhere good, it does. So I'll be vanity passing with him next game, I'm sure, to get him a level.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
hopefully he'll get an armor break on something and at least get himself block. But yeah, this is starting. Yeah, this is starting to turn into a season where I'm looking at do some development and try to stay in Div 2 next season, or have a lot of really good things die so I can reroll into Skaven.
Guilt-free at that point, huh?
Yeah, and right now my team is worse than it was at the start of the season.
Oh man.
So the development side of things is not great.
Yeah.
I've gained one skill and lost 3.
Oh, okay. Wow. This is season 4 for you?
This is my 4th season with Nurgle.
Yeah. Yeah, I should say for the team. Yeah, it's interesting. I think my Underworld ended before their 4th season. Just interesting to see the ebb and flow of teams in this Eternal format.
Underworld is a harder team than Nurgle to keep alive over the long term.
Yes.
Even the short term.
Yes, indeed. Yes, even in the short term, long term, all the terms.
We got Trox in chat. Hey Trox, good to see you.
Yeah. Let us know how volume is. I don't know. Always tweaking. Always be tweaking that volume.
Yep.
So yeah, let us know if there's anything we need to do to update that. Cool. Well, yeah, we're gonna get into real quick. We're gonna hit the what we learned this week section. We got what we learned this week and an addendum to last week's. So let me transition us over to that. What we learned this week. Well, we learned how to pronounce Goblins .deck. This one's a little.
This is sort of the royal we that you're using here because I've been pronouncing this correctly the entire time.
Oh wow! I do remember you pronouncing it right one time. I don't remember the others. The others must have just been me pronouncing it and you being silent about how badly I was doing.
Yeah.
Goblins of December. Yes. Yeah. So this is, and I kind of knew some of the heritage here. That this is all part of a Magic the Gathering theme. I love the motto here is, what's your life total again? Which I can just hear. I never played Magic the Gathering, but it seems like the sort of thing that annoying opponents just always forget that when you're playing them. But yes, .deck, not DEC, or how I was saying it, DCE. None of those. So this is a open call. We're at the precipice, or some of us have already gotten into the week 6 action. Let us know if there's anything else that we're mispronouncing. Coach name, team name, player name that's not Tabellion.
Yeah, if it's a default name, we're not going to pronounce it right, just as a matter of policy.
Yeah. I believe, yeah. If we start pronouncing it the same way every time, then you can correct us on that because we should be just constantly not getting it right. But yes, this is this was a simple and sweet what we learned this week. Tim Nielsen graciously corrected us in the division Discord that we needed to be saying .deck. It's not some. I mean, I guess it is kind of a fancy thing. Like I think it's might even be part of like a early Magic the Gathering online setup. That it was called .deck, but yeah, you just say the full thing.
Yep.
And
yeah, and absolutely to be clear, you do not have to wait until you take first place in the div to correct us.
Yeah, that's right. We're a very equal opportunity mispronouncing duo, or at least me. I will mispronounce just about anything, especially if I have to recite letters. I will switch up the order any way but the right way. Troxford wants them all dead. And Tim Nielsen wants to know if he missed us talking about his team.
Only your team name.
Yes, only your team name. You were this week's What We Learned, which is how to pronounce things. Specifically, goblins.deck. So no, we haven't talked about any results or anything. Going into, or just a amendment to what we learned last week, which was that D is for death. That may have been a little bit of an overstatement. So I actually did further research into all the divisions, and we actually are lagging behind a little bit now. We are now we're still pretty high up on amount of SBP lost, 20, roughly 20 per death, which is pretty high. But that only puts us in the second spot. There's another division, I believe it's 4B, that lost a legend at one point, which is like half of their SBP right there. And they have less deaths in that division, but the legend just really put them over on average SBP lost. And then there's another division that had 8 deaths this past week at least. So we're now tied for second with most deaths.
Yeah, because there were 3 this week, and so I was surprised that we'd fall out at first.
Yeah,
and 8's amazing.
Yeah, pretty wild. I'll keep an eye on this. I still think the D stands for death because we've most of us have seen its share and or been very close to it. We've had some deaths appoed even this week. But yeah, it's not as grim. We're not the tier. Just the Dukes of Death, I think we could go with.
Yeah.
Tim saying he's been planning to correct us for weeks about .deck and just finally got around to it when he took first place. So, but yeah, that's all of what we learned outside of the matches for the week, which we learned a whole lot.
So yeah, we want to jump into those?
Yeah, let's do it. And Traxford is saying go median instead of average. I'll tweak some of the numbers for next week, and I'll keep us posted on how we're doing. I've already got a bunch of data from the first 5 weeks, so I might as well keep going.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is our first match is Cross of the Empire versus the Skaven Rat Rodents, Pro Elves versus Camry. And as you can see, we had 2 of our deaths this week in this match. Now this is the one match this week I didn't catch. I think you, however, saw this.
I did, yeah, and I'm really glad I did. This was a match that I was hoping to be able to stream. Hoping to stream the Skaven Rat Rodents at some point, because they have, as far as I know, they have not been on any stream yet.
Mhm.
And their foul first approach to Camry is one that I heartily approve of. But I think got this game in about when I played my game last week. So I was able to catch a little bit of the first half, and then I went back and watched the replay. So yeah, a little bit about this match. Camry, they elected to start first, and they actually got into a little bit of trouble at the beginning. Pro Elves, as they're wont to do, managed to get themselves into the cage and actually popped the ball free at one point, but they couldn't get the ball out of there. And I would say this is again a part of something that I keep harping on for Cross of the Empire, which was they were doing the half in, half out thing a little bit. So they had a bunch of pieces in and around the cage, and then they had, which was halfway up the Camry's half of the field. And then they had other pieces that were much too far out to really help. They were actually like, 4 of them were trying to beat up on this one Tomb Guardian that had wandered out, and they didn't get anything for it except for like tying up 4 of their players while the rest of them were trying to pick up the ball. So that didn't really work for the Elves, and the Camry actually ended up being in a great spot, because as much as they care about the ball, if you can't pick up the ball and they can still like get a chance to hit you and then pick up the ball, that's awesome for them. So they had a field day just punching Elves and then at least caging up around the ball and then finally picking it up. Ultra Craig, their Blitzraw was on fire, like removal after removal after removal. He those deaths, I think both of them. I think both of them were him. At least the kick tackle piece was him in the first half. Actually, no, the catcher death was on a both down from Rat Trick. Rat Trick both down and then murdered a catcher.
Nice.
It was a wild first half. Camry were just getting a lot of removals. Elves couldn't really counter that, and they were able to score with, Camry was able to score without much trouble. There was like 4 Elves left on the pitch at the end of the first half. And then second half, the Elves almost didn't counter score, but managed to do it because AG5 does ridiculous things. And so they scored pretty quickly, and then the Camry counter drive, they had 3 LOS removals.
Oh, wow.
Which against, I think, like 8 Elves were on the pitch, and then all of a sudden there was like 5. And yeah, the Skaven Rat Road has just unleashed Ultra Craig onto them, and they're like, I don't know about this. They did actually put up a little bit of a defense and made it a little tricky by on turn 15. There was only a couple Elves on the pitch, but they managed to make it a little tough for Camry, but Camry were obviously able to score. So I think it was a good solid win for the Camry.
Nice.
Helpful that the removal game worked for them, but I think even still, it was that they played their game and that it all just kind of came together.
Nice. 2 deaths is unfortunate for Pandito.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, like, one was a rookie catcher. That's not the end of the world, but level 3 linemen that had a couple nice skills.
Yeah, I mean, rookie catchers aren't cheap, right?
I don't think so.
Aren't they like
I'm pulling it up.
110?
Pull it up. We don't have to guess.
Okay. It feels like we're accessing the smart part.
100K.
100. Okay. Yeah, I knew 90 was too low, but yeah, so not cheap, especially for. I mean, I guess that cost is like what you get out of the box, which is strength 3, agility 4. It's not so much the skills that they have, but the potential. But yeah, they have one catcher left. Not much cash, unless they got a bunch out of this somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the one catcher that they do have is great, but doesn't have any protective skills and is armor busted.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, the blitzers are really nice, and those are like very key pieces to pro elves. But I feel like the catchers are where you unlock your real, like big time play potential.
Yeah.
With what you're able to develop in them.
Yeah. So he did get 50K out of this game, so he's at 70. But that's not enough to buy the replacement catcher.
Yeah, and I think you probably save for that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, nice one for Scaven Rat Rodents. They got some, I'd say, good levels. The throw raw had already leveled on the second touchdown, and then got the MVP for good measure, which I think Craig Pipup was not dismayed with, but but you'd rather have that happen on the Tomb Guardian at this point. The throw raw is pretty much where you want them. But getting Ultra Craig tackle is great.
Yes, that's huge. Particularly in this div.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a fun match.
Nice. I haven't seen it, so I don't have anything more.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let's move to the next match. Peak Altitude versus Silkwood City Slickers. And I only caught the first half of this, which was explosive.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you take us through it a little bit?
Sure. So the high elves chose to receive. They score in the first 3 turns. They're able to quickly work their way up the middle, get the ball in. It's not a big deal. The big event there was K2 on the high elf team. He ate the Apo because he had been going to die, and that then left him the rest of the match without one.
Yeah. Well, and Everest went out really quick too. I think it was like 1-2.
Yeah, that sounds. Yes, that sounds right. But he was just badly hurt.
Yeah, but
that was in the first 2 turns.
Right, and it was like both tackle pieces removed for your drive.
Yeah. So
and
he needed K2 back.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
And then then the Wood Elves get their chance at a drive. Bunch of turns. They kind of play with fire. It's interesting. They left over like multiple opportunities for a 1-die blitz on the ball carrier. Which for them was it's that thrower with AG up, which is a nice thrower. You can throw well.
Yeah.
But he has no defensive skills.
No.
And eventually on turn 5, Darkanon takes a shot and gets there. It's a skull.
No.
Reroll another skull.
No.
Falls down. So yeah, he at that point he had a 75% chance of getting the ball carrier down on the block because he had gone in with one of the wrestle players.
Oh man.
Not that he needed to wrestle, of course, to take down someone without block, but he could have safely done it that way.
Right.
And it just didn't happen. And after that, the Wood Elves easily move up the field. They score in turn 6. Darkanon attempts to do the 2-turn, and it works out. And the thing that made it pretty easy for him was he'd basically set up a 5-man cage pretty far up into the Wood Elves half.
Yeah.
So this is late in the first half of it's already 1-1 at this point, and it's just like a 5-man cage ball in the middle, and Raven Poe's just moving all of his guys around to try to get on each side of it, and then I think he was probably planning to leap into it. And he did a dodge with a journeyman. And it got a 1, goes to re-roll it, actually gets through loader, but then gets another 1.
No way.
Which is one of those situations that's like kind of entertaining. It sucks for him, but it's funny to see.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, it wasn't the loner, it was that. The high elves easily cleared the basing Wood Elves.
Okay, gotcha.
As it turns out for the last time, taking it to 2-1.
2-1 at the half, and wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's Wood Elves then get a turn 8 because though it was scores back and forth. They don't even try for the 1 turn. Not sure how easy it would have been for them. There was a lot of high elves in the way, and the Wood Elves don't have a good really fast piece.
Yeah.
For it, no one with sprint or I guess there was sprint automatically on the catchers, but nothing that was already fast and then got sprint. So second half, high elves come out of their the one that was started with their drive 2-1. And that's when, right out the great gate, second half, Krakatoa takes his armor bust. The Apo's gone at that point.
Yeah.
And we'll see this on the preview sheets. He has now been fired.
Oh, wow.
So that guy's gone.
Huh. Well, I guess it's your cage wrestle leaper. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always going to be on the ground, it seems like. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's some logic to it.
Yeah.
That it's just you can't afford to have him be at 86.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Wood Elves score in 2 turns. Turn 10, they basically move the ball almost the entire length of the field because Wood Elves can do that.
Yeah. Jeez.
They tie things up 2-2, and then basically the High Elves run into some problems, like some bad dice at the wrong time. So one thing, something that's actually sort of interesting is that Darkanon was basically trying to do some hits right at the start of his responding drive.
Yeah.
And he gets a 1-9 on a block with a piece that doesn't have block, and he just allows it to turn over. And at this point, the ball hasn't been picked up. Now, the kick was incredibly deep. It was actually in the end zone.
Oh, wow.
There's no way for the Wood Elves to get to it.
Yeah.
But the problem is Ravenbow goes ahead, sends 3 guys, one of them a journeyman, 2 decent pieces in just to put pressure. And then it's a 1-36 Snake Eyes on the High Elf turn after that to pick up the ball.
Man. Oh, no.
And so that's just lousy luck, right?
Yeah.
And so, and the ball's just laying there. The Wood Elves clear off the guy who's next to it, grab the ball, score, that next turn.
Okay, so
then,
that's 3-2 at that point.
That's 3-2. And then now, High Elves going to try to at least tie it up, right?
Yeah.
As part of moving the ball forward, they attempt to pass. And the catch fails. They, again, don't reroll. And the ball just lands on the sideline. There's one guy next to it. It's partially screened, and partially screened isn't going to work against Wood Elves.
Yeah, yeah.
They send someone around one side to knock the one guy marking the ball off of it, and then a War Dancer just leaps over the screen, goes ahead and grabs it, and moves downfield.
Yeah.
High Elves try to go after him, and it's an exciting play. They send a high guy just running through traffic, right, through tackle zones to get there. But just typical of their game, the failed dodge was in fact the one that was into open field.
Yeah.
And they still had the dodge reroll.
Oh.
So another 1-36.
Oh my gosh.
And the Wood Elves solve for a turn. They score turn 16. That's 4-2. And sort of the impressive thing there was actually really dedicate themselves to causing damage while up 3-2 with the ball.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And they're making a block with a journeyman on a journeyman, which is the most pointless block in order to
on turn 16
for a gang foul.
Oh my gosh.
Plus AG High Elf lineman.
Oh my gosh.
It only got a stun, so it wasn't. But the foul actually wasn't that unsafe. They both got a free bribe.
Oh, okay.
And the game had been so wild with the ball going all over the place, they hadn't gotten a chance to foul much. So I think he just wanted to use this bribe.
Oh yeah, don't.
But it's still wild to be wow, you're gonna beat this guy 4-2.
Yeah, what the heck?
And punch him in the face. But it's fine. You want it's early in the season. You want your opponents to lose good pieces so that they do less well. That's how you get to 4-2. It was very, very easily might have been a much closer match, but there was just Darkanon had a couple turns where he just got the wrong dice at the wrong time.
Yep. And against Wood Elves, that's gonna do it. I will say that does sound pretty similar to just Raven Poe's style. It seems like he hasn't changed anything from when he was doing. I think he was doing Goblins at one point. He's done. He's done quite a few different teams in REBBL, and obviously has all those different guides and stuff. So he doesn't. He's not a lifelong elf coach or Wood Elf coach or anything. Tim Nielsen saying Underworld. Oh, you did Underworld? Yeah. Oh, maybe that was Underworld instead of Goblins. Yeah, I don't know.
These guys are good. I always read them before playing a team I haven't played before.
Yeah, it's the type of perspective he's coming from. So I will generally look at that, especially if I'm playing a team that's needs dirty player and stuff. He's a very big believer in the foul game. Yeah. But yeah.
I stuck to his guide more for my Nurgle team, which can be very foul heavy and bash
Mm-hmm.
heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and less so for like the Dark Elf team I'm playing in another league right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, and I think that was a thing for him too. Was even in the guides, he he had like other people come in and do elf elf kind of reads and stuff because he was just like I don't play
Yeah.
elves. But yeah, so nice win for them. Tough season for Peak Altitude.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to say. This is beyond us cursing him, right?
Yeah.
Because did you call it or I called it as him being the surprise team of the season. I mean, like
Interesting question.
doesn't have much, but just might pull it all together and make a run. And it
Yeah,
is.
he was my wild card.
Oh, he was your wild card. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I think I was
Your
like,
wild card was the Necro team.
oh, okay, yeah. Well, I think I switched that after you did. After you picked him, because I was thinking similarly that the High Elves didn't have anything wrong with that. Just didn't have any like big stat ups, but you know, had a potential to just play solidly, and his team doesn't seem to want to do that or roll anything well. So yeah, tough season so far.
And MVP on the Journeyman is.
God, just salting away this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Nice MVP for. So
Yeah.
cool. Getting Dauntless on that piece is fun.
Yeah.
I like it. It's interesting you built both catchers the same. Actually, I just noticed that.
Yeah.
The wrestle jump up, and then he's got a third one that's wrestle. Huh, that's interesting. All right. Well, I want to move to the next one.
Yep.
ARFF, I'm an Elf versus the Rats of Nim. I did not catch this one.
Okay. Yeah. So the two Skaven points were kind of interesting. I'll get to them, but that was, I think, one of the standout things is the way they happened. So yeah, I'll actually, I can't even start with that. The Rats scored twice. They scored on turn 8 and they scored on turn 9.
Okay.
That they just one turn. They just figured we're gonna one turn. If we get the ball, we're gonna one turn. And on turn 8, obviously that made sense. But it was interesting to see on turn 9. But before we got there, there was one thing that I thought was really interesting, and that I'm kind of curious what was going on there, which is you can see that actually she ended up being fine, but Mrs. Brisby started the game out on the line of scrimmage.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that the line of scrimmage was I believe two line rats and Miss Brisby.
Huh. Okay.
So yeah, she ended up getting KO'd turn 1, which meant that his defensive drive was really kind of like stunted because she's like the ball retrieval piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she can dodge anywhere. So yeah, I found that a very weird play, and it went badly for him.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd say in the future, put line rats on the line.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, they've got a lot of them, or had a. Yeah, they still have a lot of them. That's got to be like an oversight. Just like didn't see it. Was like rushing around.
I wouldn't be surprised, right? If it was like it's just switching things back and forth. But like keep an eye out for that in the future.
That's
what an awful piece to lose if you did, right?
Gosh.
So double into an agility increase.
Yeah.
So treasure her and watch what she does.
Yeah, of any of the mistakes, like it would have been like, oh, whoops, I put one of my storm vermin that's not leveled up there. Oops. Yeah.
The big sort of one of the exciting things on the first half drive was the ghoul really struggled to get the ball up off the ground, and it gave a chance for a gutter runner to run in there, which is so it's one of those things that we see in a number of games, right? Is the bash team can't get the ball up, and then a rat or an elf runs in and gets it, and the gutter runner just snake eyed on the dodge out,
wow.
gave himself a KO.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough.
And which actually meant that by turn 3, the only gutter runner not KO'd was the one turner who was waiting in the reserves box.
Yeah.
And so basically by pretty soon into the first half, there were no gutter runners on the field, which means that Necro there was no Skaven defense anymore.
Yeah.
once that happens.
Yeah.
So it was just an attempt to like maybe do some damage and keep the team alive. And then second half, as I said, there was a turn 9-1 turn. And then the rest of the half is just, it's another Necro drive, and the rats just keep leaving the field again.
Yeah.
And Mr. Aegis, as you can see, takes a perm. The Apothecary, and this has really been their way this season in the division, offered death as an alternative. Was rejected. So, he actually got to keep the armor bust. And by the end of it, there's a number of turns where the Skaven just like leave all their pieces on the ground.
Yeah.
And then, eventually Necro scores on turn 16, and that's the match.
Yeah, I guess that's a tricky spot, and I know the feeling because I played these rats of like you see all these rats leave the field. The rats get their one turn and then do an immediate one turn after that. And I don't know. You start thinking like maybe if I score fast and there won't be any rats left, I can just win. But because of that one turner, it's like, well, I have to like make sure that they're removed permanently before I can speed things up.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't look like obviously that didn't happen. So.
Well, that was the thing. Like, Necro clearly did not try to score and like actually win the match by scoring early because it's like the one turn would just come out and one turn.
Were they able to keep the one turn off the second half after the one turn attempt?
I don't think so. I don't 100% remember.
Yeah.
I think he was basically hidden.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a tricky thing.
Actually, he might have been because I think the badly hurt were mostly in the second half.
Okay, so
I think he may have been off the field.
Yeah. So yeah, if that's the case and you can't get at it at all, then I think you do just what the Necro did, which is like take your time with it, try to get some SPP from injuries, and then roll it in on the last turn. Yeah, that's tough.
But that's what I got for this one. It was an interesting match. And if you like seeing a Skaven one turner do their thing, it's good for that.
Yeah. Or dirty player zombie getting tossed out.
Yeah. A lot of foul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say a lot of turns with rats not standing up. I hope the next thing is there's a lot of zombies stomping on them.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, a tie, which I think, as we'll see on the leaderboard, has been a big thing for the Rats and Nim this season. But again, with that one turner, it's it makes turns at least that into your favor. So, all right, next match, Mean Green and Thick versus Flyboys. We had the OG Blood Bowl teams fighting it out.
Very, very OG game.
Yeah.
Like they get into the scrum like instantly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I didn't see this one, but you told me a little bit about it. And so I'll let you take it away. But
so it's just immediate like shoving punching match between these teams. Orcs start out like they have the first drive, and unfortunately the removals kind of go against them. The humans are getting the better of it.
Interesting.
And that's not normally the way you would think it would be with all these teams stacked up against each other. Though that said, there is more mighty blow on the human side of the field to help make up for the better armor that the orcs have. Yeah. It really makes it hard for the orcs to make progress. Turn 8, there was a rough play to try to score. That was not very likely. And this is actually something Gojiro talked to on his stream. He played it suboptimally. Like he hadn't realized that there was a certain piece was in range.
Oh,
and so he built it around sort of like there was a better way to try to do what he did. And it means that when he got a blitz and like couldn't get the piece he was blitzing down, it just like ended it and he wasn't able to score.
Yeah.
Second half, so yeah, it's going to second half 0-0, 10 human players, 9 orc players. The humans grind up the field on their drive. Then the ball carrier, it was an interesting setup. Basically, the humans set up like a screen to keep the orcs out of the way, and then just like push their ball carrier up. But as you can see, the orcs had a wizard.
Oh, yeah.
So he gets bolted down, and the orcs like can then use the blitz to like make him get a path through to where he was.
Yeah.
And then they just mark up the ball. The humans actually then get it back, and it looks like they're probably going to score. They're scoring turn 15, but they have to make a pass to do it. 1 in 36. Hits the ground. Orcs get it. They can't score, and the humans aren't able to get it back either. So they just sort of like just stalls out.
Yeah.
And the game ends with the orcs just like holding the ball midfield.
That
Like,
does...
looking at the end zone 13 squares away.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had 3 more turns to go get over there?
Right. Though, yeah, who knows? Give them 12 more turns and it'd still be this result, sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, that's, yeah. I was wondering how the wizard was going to play into it, so that, that makes sense. But yeah, the orcs taking quite a bit of damage on this one.
Fury's Fred is just racking up the injuries.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got one of everything that you can live with. I guess actually you could live with an agility bust on him as well. A strength bust would be like immediate fire defense. So
yeah, well, certainly
not next game because he's going to be out, but after that, I look forward to the agility bust.
Did he came with the armor bust, right?
At the start of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think it was a little busted up coming off the market, but then.
So as of I don't have week 1. As of week 2, he had the armor bust and the niggle, and he hadn't just been injured.
Huh. Okay. That'd be wild if you bought a piece off the market with both those things.
Yeah, it looks like that was what it was. Yeah, because week 1 he took a badly hurt but no perm. So yeah, he came off the market with the armor bust and niggle. That may be why he was on the market.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's still generally doing what you wanted, at least to like fill a gap until it, as it is doing, collects all the injuries and what you fire it. But because I think at the start of this season, right, it didn't have this team didn't have any tackle and very little guard, or maybe 1 tackle but very little guard.
That's a good question. So at the start of the season, Guai Li had tackle. Actually, and Dr. Gray had tackle. So actually, there was plenty of tackle.
Okay.
There's only 2 guard. There has been, there was 3 guard, including him. There's now been 2 Black Orc guards added since then.
Yep.
Which is really, really wanted. So he has slowly become a less essential piece. The tackle situation's still the same. Yeah. But there's more guard elsewhere and on better pieces that can actually take a hit. And that's his real problem, right? Is like block guard, you want to base him up against stuff.
Right.
And then he gets hit, and it's like, okay, he's 88 niggled.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, the Gris Brown, sorry, taking a niggling injury. I mean, stand firm makes it a piece that's, people don't really want to hit anyway, so.
I don't think you can get rid of it. It's
yeah.
You're disappointed, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You wait until he takes like a second injury at least.
Yeah. So all in all, probably a disappointing result for both coaches, I imagine. It seems like both of them had their shot, didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
And Flyboys being a little higher on the leaderboards, and with some other shakeups on the leaderboards, probably regretting a little bit not getting the full 3 points.
Yeah, they had a couple points. The fact that they were a 1, they got closer than the Orcs did to their touchdown. Yeah. The Orc chance at that touchdown on their drive required multiple things to go right. Whereas the thing that stopped the humans was a 1 in 36 on a pass.
Yeah.
Which happens, and if you put yourself in a position where you have to roll dice on, the turn you score on, or otherwise you're going to lose the ball and turn over.
Yeah.
It's a risk you face, but it's still really disappointing when it's that unlikely that it happened.
Right. Well, until again, you're fighting a little uphill because you have the wizard coming against you. So yeah, you're trying to like recover from that and pull out a score. So yeah, it's tough and yeah, unfortunate. So all right, moving on to the next match. We have our spoilers, our new front runner, Goblins at deck, taking it over All Bark No Bite, and goodness,
Yeah.
so many levels in this one.
So many levels, one perm.
Yeah, versus
And a really unfortunate perm.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Versus one perm and a MNG on the other side.
Yeah,
Not counting a journeyman taking, whatever.
which a lot of journeymans took whatever, including the MVP. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, but I mean, when there's four when there's four injured casualties on your journeyman, you got to expect that the crowd's going to notice that like these guys are doing, helping you out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I meant to catch this one, but I did not get around to it.
This was a good one. I really enjoyed this one. Very exciting game. Do you want me to just like walk you through it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So All Bark No Bite chose to receive, which makes sense to me. Right out the gate, the opening kickoff event is a bribe for each team, which really plays into what Goblins deck, Tim Nielsen likes to do.
Yeah.
Where he's going to foul. He bought 2 mercenaries, and now he's got a bribe as well.
Yeah. Jeez.
Kiki Jiki gets hit. The rats attempted to dive into a really loose cage, and he rolled double 2s on a 3+ dodge as part of his attempt to get in there.
Oh no.
Actually, I'm sorry. It was not him trying to get here. There was a different piece trying to get in here.
Oh, okay.
Kiki had been left based up in the vicinity because basically the wood, so David Leclerc had based up like Kiki Jiki, but the cage was nearby.
Yeah.
So a different gutter runner goes running in. I think it was Triform Cutter.
Okay. Yep, makes sense.
And Triform Cutter fails the dodge that I just walked through, and then Kiki Jiki is therefore left base because he was going to be the one who's going to leap over and they go get the ball, right?
Yeah.
So he immediately gets hit, and he takes the armor bust that you see.
Wow. Yeah.
It was actually this was actually a reroll by David Leclerc to make sure he hit the ground. It had been a push skull result, but he's like, no, I definitely want to hit this guy.
Yeah.
He did die, and so the armor bust came from the Apo. So that's actually an example of doing something useful.
Yeah, there you go.
It's still unfortunate, but it's certainly better than this beautiful piece dying.
Yeah.
Better than the other way around, which we've seen so many times this season, where when you have some other permanent apothecary is like, I could just put him out of his misery. The Wood Elves bribe gets used pretty early. There's a foul that put a KO on Triform Cutter, which I would foul that piece too. And so that means the rats are down their 2 best gutter runners for the elf drive.
Okay.
So attacking the ball carrier is much harder. Elves to keep on fouling anyways on the remaining leveled gutter runners on the field.
Oh, wow.
Without the bribe. The rats are striking back. They managed to get a death result on Walnut. And again, the apothecary's like, actually, you know what? We're not going to have that happen. And gets him down to a no casualty.
Oh, wow.
So Elves score on turn 7. I think he could have actually stalled another turn.
Did that leave 2 turns for Skaven?
That leaves 2 turns for the Skaven.
Oh.
There's something sort of interesting, which Michael Jackson's a fun player to watch. He didn't mark up the main Skaven scoring threat so that Michael Jackson could then run over to mark him.
Oh, with pass block.
Yeah, when the ball was sent over to him. The thing is, it's a 3+ catch anyway still. And the gutter runner makes it, no problem.
Yeah.
That's go ahead and score.
Yeah.
The second half is so it's 1-1 with the rats receiving. Elves are leaving the field. Michael Jackson takes his agility bust early in the second half.
Yeah.
Tim Nielsen saying he doesn't think the decision was bad, actually. I think that's the result of scoring on turn 7.
Yeah.
There may have been a better way to get the ball than Okay, so basically the argument being that it's easier to mess with the 2-turn than the 1-turn, given that the Wood Elves can themselves 1-turn.
Yeah.
So I could see the logic of that. Didn't end up working out.
Yeah.
There's just elves leaving the field in the second half. That means by turn 11, it's 11 rats against 5 elves.
Oh, wow.
And then that turn it drops to 4 elves.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the elves turn 11, Walnut rerolls a push skull into a double skull.
Oh no, that's
armor break. And at that point, it's 3 elves on the field.
Jeez.
The rat turn 12 then removes 2 more elves from the field. So that at that point, Elm is the only elf on the field.
Oh gosh.
At this point, this game is just vanity passing back and forth.
Oh, okay.
And fouling until finally Elm takes a KO and it's 11 rats on the field.
Oh wow. Yep. There you go.
They score on turn 16. And the elves can field 4 on their turn 16 due to some chaos waking up.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be able to 1-turn with 4 pieces.
No.
They take hits. Their line of scrimmage hits. There's no damage. There is a revenge foul on Triform Cutter, but it's just a stun.
Yeah.
I will say to Tim Nielsen, I do not know how to play Wood Elves, and so it's not necessarily what I would have done it with my Nurgle team, but I can't say it's wrong against for a Wood Elf team, given that Nurgle has more tools to stop a 1-turn than the Wood Elves do.
Yeah. Well,
that's the presence in that.
Yeah, I mean, my team did score on turn 8 against Tim's team, and he 1-turned against me. So, I think Tim is definitely adept at doing just that, and something gonna happen on that turn 7 kickoff where you get a perfect defense, or even just rain starting or something that just kind of changes everything.
And Tim Nielsen pointed out that if he does, like, say he's given 2 turns and he just 1-turns anyways, the Wood Elves can 1-turn, try to 1-turn themselves, which puts you back in position. You need to 1-turn again in order to do it. And that means you need to pull off 2 1-turns possibly, and they're not so guaranteed of succeeding.
Right.
That you necessarily want to do that. And if you fail the first 1-turn attempt, then the Wood Elves get the ball and maybe score.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have a turn to turn it back around.
So I appreciate him being in chat and telling me that I don't know what I'm talking
about. More on what we learned this week, I guess.
But yeah, this was an exciting one. If you haven't played Tim Nielsen's Goblins deck yet, just go ahead and maybe just pull this game and watch it just to see what this team is capable of.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, and again, I'm liking his inducement game of getting
true harder to do the counter 1-turn off the failed 1-turn because they're not set up to get pushes.
Oh,
that's a fair point.
I'm starting to lose track of what turns we're talking about.
Yeah, I once again said something inaccurate that the elves aren't. If the goblins fail their 1-turn, the Wood Elves can't then use their turn 8 to score because they're not going to be set up to get a piece over to the end zone.
Okay. Yeah. I guess it would just be their turn 8.
Which needs to be so you really need the 3-man on the line of scrimmage. I can set up exactly how I want to do it.
Right. Okay.
Again, showing my inexperience with elves.
Yeah. Gotcha. Cool. Well, yeah, it looks like a fun match, and one I wish I had caught or maybe streamed. I can't remember where I was when this was happening.
I don't know. But yeah, next match is one you definitely caught.
Oh boy. Yeah, this one. Holy moly. I had some nice dice in this one.
Yeah. But yeah, this is just big picture. This is huge win, right?
Yes.
You were, to be blunt, playing around with how much you're in contention, getting this win where you obviously you got a win that isn't one you would necessarily count on as much this season, and bring the division leader and stop him from getting his 3 points he's been getting every week.
Yep.
Really upsets the leaderboard, which we'll see in a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this match was really intense. I actually had to go back and rewatch this for the recap because it was kind of a blur. My memories of it were kind of a blur just because of how edge of the seat I was with it. Um, and yeah, I forgot when I started up the replay. I was like, oh damn, this like really didn't start out ideal for me. Um, see, he put me on offense and then got a perfect defense,
Hmm.
which against I feel like against Norse, that's like a personal offense I
Hmm.
take because it's like I did all this work to set up all my frenzy blocks, and
Yeah.
you're just gonna sit on the other side of the LOS. Um, and so like I had to like work through my 7 stages of grief about those LOS hits and just like, well, we're going, and it was a deep kick too.
Yeah.
Um, and I just had to like abandon my plans for like punching them very much. But I still managed to get like a removal off of like a runner blitz, which was, yeah, I think summarizes a little bit of how this thing went.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I this was tough. It took a lot of like concentration in that first half to like resist the urge of like punching and envisioning AV, their AV7 breaking. And I think part of that has just been like seeing them week after week do the opposite, right?
Yeah.
They've been pretty resilient and just like punching you back and getting breaks. So like I think I played kind of an elfy game to match theirs a little bit,
Mm.
of just like trying to like screen and keep things kind of away from their sort of scrum that they start up sometimes. Um, but yeah, they actually played it a bit more cautious than I was expecting too. They were doing a lot of screening in the first half, and really things didn't open up until they had a 1 in 36 dodge to
Yeah.
like try to complete their screen on one side. I'd already been kind of looking at this left side for me as like a way
Yeah.
to push up.
Yeah. Yeah. They gave you an open to switch sides.
Yeah, yeah. The elf falls over. I can't remember if he did re-roll it or not, but it ended
It
up.
was it was it was definitely a 1 in 36. I don't remember if it was a built-in reroll or a
Yeah,
reroll, but it was
yeah,
definitely double ones.
yeah. Okay, okay. I think he re-rolled it because then he was uh, frustrated because it ended up in a KO, and so like there was just one piece sitting on its end over on the left side. So I switched field, blitz that piece down, and switch field, and that opened things up for me for the rest of the half. Got a little tense towards the very end there, but I had enough pieces in support to make the score happen. Had a Their Apo got used on turn 8, I think, or my turn 8, where I blitzed Hawk and got badly hurt on it, and at that point it had already lost a couple pieces to badly
Yeah.
hurts. Didn't Kind of wanted to stem the bleeding. That's a ridiculously good piece for them, and so they brought him back, and that's where the Apo got used. They tried a one turn and almost got it. Ugh.
Yeah. It was a one on a GFI at the end, right?
Yes, or yeah, I think it was the GFI that failed before the dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, yeah, I felt very fortunate at that point, because I've had, as we already said, Skaven one turn on me a couple times. So that had me feeling a little bit better. Um, they set up for a quick score, and that's when I uh, MNG'd Orion because Orion was like sitting in the middle of the field waiting for
Mm.
their quick score, and I couldn't care less about whatever they were trying to do in offense. I just wanted to hit that piece so bad,
Yeah.
and they gave it to me, and yeah, I got the MNG because the Apo was gone. And so like they were able to set up midfield and start pushing a little bit, but they ended up having to like cage a little bit more than they were hoping because they had like 3 catchers upfield. I got rid of Orion and then another one. Um, got
Pythoventris got fouled off the field.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And so they kind of took it a little slower, but did end up scoring on turn 14, which they were we were talking in chat, and they're like, if you counter score, I'm gonna really regret doing that. Um, but I don't know. I think I ended up counter scoring a turn early anyway, because I got a little antsy at the
Yeah,
end.
you scored on turn 15.
Yeah, so even if they had waited, because they were debating between scoring that 14 or one more turn for them. Um, and yeah, but my counter score was pretty dicey, and I got really anxious about it, and ended up making kind of some chancy rolls, but they ended up working out for me.
Yeah, you made it a little bit harder on yourself than you actually needed to at one point.
Yeah. Well, part of it was like when I went to pick up the ball, they kicked it super deep again. When I went to pick up the ball, sure hands failed in the end zone, and thankfully it didn't bounce out, but it was still like on a sideline, and so the Elves push in, and I'm kind of thinking I can't just like pick up the ball and try to cage up in my deep half. I need I need to move up quick. So I did a couple, like a pass and a handoff to get going, and may have outran my team a little bit, but yeah, managed to uh, roll well in the very spots I needed to get the counter score. So yeah, it was it was very wild. At that point, they didn't have enough pieces to one turn.
Well, there's a part. Oh, so they did not have enough in general. I thought that was because there was a pitch invasion before the very end,
Oh.
and it stunned one of the pieces on the line, which I actually
Oh
thought
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
killed the one turn.
yeah. Well, and it's done one of my pieces that kind of like got in the way too. I think
Right, because it can
or
no longer
something.
be like hit shot
Yeah,
around.
yeah. That's what it was. I forgot about that piece. Yeah, I'm glad you watched the match as well. So yeah, it was a fun win. Clown Clown Thulu's a good coach and fun to play against. They were chatting it up, and yeah, I think definitely got a reward for his trouble.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
nice one level, but it's a real nice one.
yeah, so now they have a strength plus line of. Because I think didn't All Bark No Bite had one of these at one point at least. I don't know if
Yeah,
this was us, but yeah, that's a pretty nice level.
they still do even
Oh, there you go.
surprisingly.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get any development out of this. My pieces are all still like middling in their levels, but maybe one day. We'll see.
Yeah, you're at a relatively slow place.
Yeah, yeah,
You could use a little luck on the Yeti.
yeah, yeah. We're 5 matches in. No, not a single drop of SVP on that thing. Um, yeah, he's gotten like one or two KOs. I'm not using him heavily because I got more reliable pieces, but still, it's getting at least a couple hits a game. So,
Mighty blow on him would be real nice.
yep. So, yeah.
Of the big guys, he's got like an unusually good first level on a normal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a fun piece. I don't regret having it on the field, but even though this match like sat down for half of the first half and decided I'm too angry for this, which was frustrating, but otherwise it's been good.
But yeah, fun match. It was fun. It was a good watch, and yeah, very consequential win for the division.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, it wasn't one I was counting on, but really needed in order to kind of stay competitive with the top teams for at least like a chance at challenger. So felt really good to get it. Oh, all right. So I think this is the
One more match.
last match, and this was, I think we were calling this one the match of the week, right?
Yeah, double streamer match.
Yeah.
I watched these. Yeah, both up at the same time.
Nice.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I just caught the Pim Pimps VOD, but I didn't get to catch this live. And he seemed pretty Frustrated with how his
Yeah,
team's doing.
yeah. Just not getting. He just hasn't been getting all season the removals he wants.
Yeah.
He got one real nice one this week, but
Ooh, yeah. T
in
Rose.
general, just not been getting what he wanted.
Yeah. Well, and that was the case of the Apo. Must be the same Apo on Retainer by the division. Just saying, oh, do you want an extra helping of death? I can kill him
Hmm.
this way.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, yeah, we saw T Rose, who had just gotten tackle, was like the killer, supposedly the killer of elves, is no more.
Yeah. Chalkspur defending himself that no, he did not play badly. And I agree, he did not play badly. And I would say, it's, for example, like the first, we talked about, Pimp having trouble getting damage. The first quarter was just both sides like impotently shoving each other. Or like if they
Yeah,
managed to get some like the rare armor break, it's just a stun.
yeah, yeah.
And it was a Chorf's drive, and it
Mm-hmm.
made their progress up the field a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was both of them like just not getting the hits in that they wanted.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I thought no Truxpers. I mean, obviously did well to get the ball off of them and score on their drive. Um, but yeah, it did start out as a classic, as Tim's saying in chat, classic pillow hands match. That started to tilt a little bit towards the chaos. I mean, I think the T Rose death didn't happen until like the very end. Um, and
Yeah, that was late in the game.
yeah, and though they did sustain quite a bit of KOs, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Um, but this was just a bit of this was pretty much a slog, and I think, um, like I said, I thought Truxburgs did well to kind of uh, make the most out of the opportunity to, like with Tanner Brewers kind of slowed up along the side, uh, you know, uh, just kind of like getting all his pieces to kind of like squeeze the chores even narrower a little bit, and
yeah. Chorf's
that
got like
might have helped.
increasingly like concentrated and then like less room to maneuver, and would like
Mm.
turn up to more and more having to react to what Chaos was doing.
Yep, yep, exactly. Which, yeah, with pieces that slow, when you're using them to like blitz off the ground or even just, yeah, counter blitz backwards, it doesn't leave a lot of room upfield to go. And yeah, that's what we saw with that first half.
Yeah, in particular, there was like basically like late in the first half, the Chorfs tried to make a break for it, and
Mm.
there was an unfortunate snake eyes on a dodge,
Oh, was
and
it
yeah, it
was it
was.
that or was it the bull centaur doing his snake eyes on a GFI? I saw that at one point too.
I think this one was a dodge. There was
Mm.
also one of those, but I think it was a dodge. It may have been a GFI, and I missed what it was,
Yeah,
but it
trucks.
was a 2+ check.
Yeah,
Okay, it was a GFI, but yeah, it was a 2+ check.
yeah,
Snake eyed.
yeah.
Chaos gets a shot to like actually get the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically have like a huge turn 6 where they
Mm.
um, a guard blocker on the Chaos Force team eats the Apo. Um, there's the claw blocker takes the armor bust. We can see there that was all turn
Yep.
6.
Yep.
And the ball was like picked up, handed off to someone else who can get basically out of range.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a final hit that produced, I don't forget what was on, but like produced another KO.
Oh
That there
yeah.
was like 3 removals and the ball moving like a fair number of squares again under chaos control in one turn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That was and that yeah chaos or sorry the chaos dwarves can't really do too much against that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where like chaos scored on turn 7, and so like technically chaos dwarves had a chance to one turn, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not something they can actually do.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it was a great turn of events for Go Work Orange, and then in the second half, they did they did what they needed to do. I think this was played really well too, because they started out back, then pushed up, and then backed off a little bit, um, which usually I'm usually not cool with. Like for my team, I'm like, oh, we're not making any progress. But it actually worked out because then it ended up with a number of the chorf blockers because they backed up and to their right, and a
Mm.
bunch of the chorf blockers were occupied up to their left, and the chaos dwarves weren't able to like reposition in front too well. They put a few pieces in there, but chaos was able to kind of like split the difference and get a cage then up the field on the right, and the chorfs just couldn't make it around to stop the score.
Yeah, and I mean, some of that was we did see multiple snake eye GFIs. We saw some
Yeah.
turns where like all the chores needed was a push,
Mm-hmm.
and they would re-roll a 1 and 9. It would be a 1 and 36, double skulls.
Yeah.
So some lousy luck there. That said, good play by Chalksbirds, like moving up the field whenever he could, taking advantage of that, forcing his opponent to roll those dice. So I think good play.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the second half, that's when we lose T Rose. That was a dead to dead on the apothecary.
Yeah.
And then there was some like sort of out of game excitement in that on turn 15, Chalksbird's mouse and keyboards stopped working.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so we ended up like a good 10 minutes of just like waiting around, seeing
Yeah.
what was going on with that, with the game pause.
Yeah. That
But
was.
it ends up getting resolved, and he scores, takes it to 2-0.
Yep. Yep. Um. Yeah. That's rough, especially after you've played a whole match, because you're like, a little tired, and you're like, oh god, what if this all goes downhill and we have to like play it again or something? I don't know. I don't know what the. I actually don't know because it was pretty late along what the admins would do. But yeah.
I'm guessing it would have been an admin. It would have been a win result
Yeah.
because all he had to do was go and run the ball into the end zone
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to take it to 2-0. But it was good that they got it resolved.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a very odd thing where like it wasn't that the mouse stopped working per se, because you could see the pointer moving around the screen. It's just that flicks weren't registering, and keyboard commands weren't registering.
Oh wow.
So it was really like a Blood Bowl 2 problem.
Yeah.
Is my interpretation. So I would blame Cyanide for this.
Yeah.
And the fix was just to restart the game.
Yeah.
And so that nets, of course, one of the nice things about Blood Bowl 2 is, unlike the Blood Bowl 1, you can force quit out of a match and then join back in. And
Yeah.
it's not like concede.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good, and it was nice too. Like it didn't, the mouse and keyboard didn't cause like a disconnect or anything, so that you had a timer against you or anything like that.
Yeah, and there was some nice work by the spectators who caught that Troxbirds had this problem and then popped into, I think it was, Pim Pim's tab. And it was just like, hey, he's having problems with the mouse and keyboard. Can you pause?
Yeah. 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 That's good. Good job, division mates, or whoever was watching.
Yeah, I wish I remember who it was. I would call them out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this was a big match, and yeah, it seems like just a couple of turns, and again, like Truxburgers was primed for some opportunities there, took advantage, and got the big win. And the TD differential's a nice bonus there too.
Yeah.
Because we all know what Clown Cthulhu's doing over there. So yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even worry about Clown Cthulhu when it comes to TD differential. We'll see this in the leaderboard, but we'll talk about this at the leaderboard.
Oh, well, guess what?
Yeah.
It's time for the leaderboard. Let's do it. Yeah, so things have shifted around a little bit.
Yeah, Goblins.deck in the lead.
Yeah, so with their win and Starlit Hornets losing, they're able to snatch it away, at least for the moment. So they have, one tie that's versus the one loss that the Hornets have, and which puts the Hornets and the Goatwork Orange neck and neck.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then a contingent right below that that's nipping at their heels a little bit.
Yeah, and the comment I was going to make was, I would not look to beat Sterling Hornets on TD differential. I would not like if you get like a 2-0 win, like go Work Orange just got. I would not consider that to be, oh, I got closer to Sterling Hornets. I would consider that to be, now if Hella's Kitchen comes up to the same number of points, then I'm ahead of them.
Yeah.
Sterling Hornets are gonna have to beat on like win and draw points.
Yep. 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 Yeah, it's still a long season, but yeah, the way they've been playing, it is going to be tough to catch them that way. And yeah, Goblins.deck taking the lead was good on them for that. Flyboys and Hella's Kitchen, myself, tied, which I guess, yeah, my win meant I went up and tied Flyboys. Their tie just kind of evened them out a little bit. And and our former frontrunner, Tainted Brewers. Or I guess he wasn't former frontrunner, but
2 losses hurt him.
Yeah.
But he was in second place. Now he's in 6th.
Yep.
And I'll put it in like the lower portion, like Silkwood City Slickers. Like if you look at their like line, right? It's like they had a bad couple first few weeks. Now just straight up. So they can keep that up. Like it's not impossible.
Yeah.
They're gonna do something.
Yeah.
And certainly, if you want to move to Div 3, like everyone still has a chance to do that. Definitely.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely the bigger kind of like leap up from the bottom has been them. Gojira and his orcs have also been kind of going upwards a little bit, though I guess through ties, not necessarily through wins.
Yeah, there was an early win. Since then, they've been coasting on ties.
Kind of the same for ARFF a little bit as well. Rats and Nim, the same thing. And then we've talked about All Bark No Bite. Both of our like either front runner or Challenger Cup front
I called them to win the Div.
Yeah, you called them to win the Div. I called them to get the Challenger Cup, and they have lost like stat up piece after stat up piece. But yeah, it's looking like you said a little bit less likely to catch up to all of these teams and start eking them out.
Yeah.
And
in terms of that, like you're more likely to make, say, the Challengers Cup or the Champions Cup, whichever one is called. Than you are if you're in the lower half right now, then you are like the main playoffs.
Yep.
And even that, you're counting on someone to like have a bad rest of their season, but that can happen.
Yeah, it really can.
And you can make some of that happen by playing your opponent and beating them.
This word brought to by our sponsor, which I don't actually remember, but yeah, beat your opponents, take care of your own business, and who knows what can happen with the rest. We've seen some crazy results. And
I'm glad we no longer have anyone at 0 points.
Yeah. Across the Empire. Well, actually, Skaven Rat
last week we didn't either, but Skaven Rat Rodents were at 0, and they actually got a win.
Yep.
So another congratulations to them on that. That's it's nice when you can see like, oh, I can win a game.
Yeah. And as far as other comments, Tim Nielsen saying that Wood Elves could definitely just like go on a big tear and catch up and compete. They've got the speed and the talent for it.
Yep.
So just have to see. All right. Well, let's take a look at next week's action.
Sounds good.
So, actually 2 teams we were just looking at the 13th and 14th position of the div. They're both actually at 0, 1, and 4 and have had a rough go of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this one pretty evenly matched on team value. Um,
Yeah,
though,
I would assume this is going to be a no inducements match.
yeah, I think Peak Altitude probably has probably wants to save up for some linemen, I would guess. Um,
Yeah, and to replace anything that might get injured.
yeah, which has seemed to be happening. Which yeah, I guess they fired what was it, a catcher?
Yeah, Krakatoa is there used to be
Oh,
a Krakatoa that had I think it was wrestle. It's like
leap.
wrestle tackle leap or something.
Yeah,
Definitely had wrestle and leap. I don't remember. It had a third skill. I'm not 100% sure on what it was,
yeah,
but it was a nice piece and it took a bust and
yeah,
now it's back. New piece with the same name,
yeah.
no skills.
Okay, yeah. So they did buy something, and yeah, I think our our high elf lineman 70 or
I believe so.
60. Yeah. Either way, they're pretty
They're
pricey.
70.
Yeah, yeah. So I think they're gonna do the elf thing and roll with some loaners until they have an excess amount of cash to build a bench or anything like that.
Yeah,
Um,
only pro elves get the 60K linemen. The other three
okay,
elves are all 70K.
gotcha. Um, yeah, and Cross of the Empire still has two agility 5 pieces that could make things really interesting. Um, but yeah, this one will be interesting to see because I feel like both of these coaches have some like different play styles that haven't been working out for them, but now they're going to play each other. So which way is it going to work?
Yeah.
I mean, Peak Altitudes definitely had some bad luck too. So um, yeah, I
I,
don't know.
I, though that's what I would probably give the edge to the pro elves here. That the high elves
Mm,
they have less skills, less stats.
mm-hmm.
They're basically paying for AB8,
Mm,
and that's nice when you're going up against bash teams. It means your
yeah,
team is around for longer, but this presumably won't be that bashy a match. So I would expect the pro elves
yeah,
better like skill setups and you know AG5 strength 4 pieces stuff like that to do something. That said, if you have three 86 pieces, or maybe two 86 and one 87, I think the blitzers are base AB8,
yeah. They're 8. Yeah.
but then he's also got a niggle and a movement bust, so he can't run away that well.
Gosh.
You could see the pro elves take damage even without any kill skills
Yeah.
on the high elf side.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and even with all those like injuries, they have not been shy about putting them in the scrum. Like I think they had this piece in with like a bunch of Tomb Guardians trying to like stop or like get the ball free from Camry, and I'm pretty sure it died and then got appoed.
Bless you.
Nice.
Um,
But yeah, so I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I kind of think the high elves can probably do it with some good if they have just like some solid positioning. They don't have any like big breaks as far as like 1 in 36s at bad moments. I think they can pull it out.
and Tim Nielsen making a fair point that if we combine the fact that Pandito has not been shy about like playing aggressively with his elves,
Mm-hmm.
with the fact that elves often feel comfortable basing each other up or getting into scrums in a way they wouldn't necessarily with like say a kill team,
Yeah.
you can have surprisingly bloody matches. So
Yeah. Yeah.
possible we'll come out of this with some damage.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be one. I think I had a couple highlighted. I'd be interested to know like when this played. If it hits at the right time, I'd be interested in streaming it. Though I don't know if Dark Cannon will allow it, but we'll see.
Mm, yeah, but yeah, it's a match I'm curious to see how it goes.
hmm hmm All right. Go to our next match, which has already been played.
Yep.
So I have still not seen the result of this.
No, I don't know what the result is. I just know the match happened.
Yeah.
But it's going to cut down how much I get into like, oh, what should you spend your inducements on,
Yep.
sort
Yep.
of thing. Particularly given we already know it's probably a couple bribes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we could put our bets on it now. That's 2 bribes. Yeah, and so they'll have three bribes going into this, and it'll be interesting. Or I'm very interested to look at the replay
Yeah.
probably after this, to see how it goes. ARFF and Elf has been like tying everybody, outside of their first win, um, and which I think was week one, and the Skaven, the Skaven, the Camry just got their first win by beating the crap out of some elves. Um, but you know, Necro's not as easy to beat up.
Yeah, and this is a match where that Strength 4 werewolf, I would think, could easily
Mm.
be very instrumental, like useful, because it's a little bit easier to send Strength 4 after a Strength 5 Tomb Guardian than it is
Mm-hmm.
like a Strength piece, 3 piece. We need like 3 assists for both parts of the frenzy.
Yeah.
It's like that's some work. 2 is less bad. And,
Yeah.
and and because so many of them don't have block, you
Right.
can probably put up with like the second one maybe being a 1 die.
Yep. Yeah, and they, I think we watched or maybe streamed their match against humans, in which they went after that ogre, which was a block ogre, with very little, um, hesitation. They were all for it, trying to get that claw going.
Sometimes to their detriment, but yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if that happened again, though.
yeah. I think the looking at non-block strength 5 pieces that also have decay, and you have claw, I think you start doing the math real quick on that, and the Tomb Guardians are going to be everywhere, so it's not like you're going to have to hunt them down. Um,
Yeah.
it's yeah, I can see them taking their time to meet the Skaven Rat rodents blow for blow a little bit. Plus, their flesh golems are in a good spot to kind of hold things at bay too. I think this is going to be tough for the Camry,
Yeah.
because you got to get pieces on the ground to be able to foul it, and all of their pieces are kind of, uh, not that easy.
Only the zombies will be easy to get fouls on. And I mean, when you have a built-in bribe and probably 2 extra bribes, you
Mm-hmm.
probably do it,
Yeah,
but it's not worth that much.
yeah, which is true. Like maybe zombies just start falling apart, and there's nothing left to protect the strength ghoul or a white, and you're able to like get that piece down and foul that. But I think that's kind of playing the long game, which I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that sometimes that tilts your way, and sometimes the zombies just regen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, yeah, I mean regen being the thing that it is, it's I don't I think the necro have an advantage in this one.
Seems about right. But want to move on to the next one?
Yeah. Yeah, so this one we got 7 and 8 matched up.
Yeah.
Um, got our up and coming Wood Elf team with their beer stand, against orcs that took a bit of damage and are going to be, hurting for some pieces.
Yeah.
And they're getting inducements, but I don't think that makes up for what you're missing.
No, not at all. You'd much rather have those actual pieces. Um, there's not like a good star player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like maybe it's a couple bribes. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I mean,
this feels like it's an unfortunate time to be down those
yeah.
pieces.
I mean, I think you can do 2 bribes, or like if you want to get like build up a bench a little bit, you could do a bribe and a merc lineman, and just and try to foul AV7. We've seen that, even with some of our AV7 teams doing that, right?
Yeah.
That's Tim Nielsen's game. He buys some extra line rats and fouls your pieces.
Yeah. Bribe and Merc Lyman, I like that. But
Yeah, I don't know. I do think even with that, uh, just like we were saying with the other team, with the Necro team, like this is a hard team to like pin down when you're orcs. Like orcs obviously don't have the speed. That's not. They're known for the opposite. Um, and the wood elves have, like these speedy jump up wrestle catchers that are just gonna harass your slow, offensive drive. They're gonna, they, just put up 4 on high elves, and I don't know. It's not the same game, right? Because you're playing against Bash as Wood Elves, but I think Ravenpo knows the Bash game pretty well.
Yeah, this seems to lean in his favor. And there's things like there's no sure hands ball carrier for the orcs,
Mm,
and so that strip
yeah.
ball war dancer is really dangerous.
Yep.
On top of those wrestle catchers. Yeah, this
Yeah.
would seem to me to lean towards the what else, that this is the sort of match that they're well built to win.
Yep. Yep. They got um, you know, they've got some momentum going with 2 straight wins, and yeah, I think unless the orcs can get like the removal train like rocking and rolling, yeah, I agree with you. I think the Wood Elves stand to take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fortunately, both of the orc killers are both mighty blow and tackle, and one of them has piling on, and one of them has
Mm.
move up,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's worth something. And so yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully he can actually do damage and get that going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like if he say receives first, there's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
3 journeymen on the line. You're hoping that to get get one of those out, maybe 2 of those out, and then your blitz goes out. Like if you can pull that off, then you could start making something happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, I'm interested to see which way it goes because I think you're gonna find out pretty fast which way it's gonna go.
Mm.
The elves are either gonna like bounce in, get the ball, and roll out, and that's it, or yeah, they start taking damage, have to play more cautiously, and then I guess I could still go either way at that point, but um, yeah, if the orcs do get some good removals and you don't have any fluff or filler in between, uh, you know, Gwali and Noble Willingham, then yeah, you can start like doing damage to the pieces that Silkwood doesn't want you to.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Oh, the Skaven mirror match.
Yeah.
Um, Tale of Two Seasons for these teams.
Yeah.
But still, like, what happens when Skaven without a natural one turner meets Skaven with?
It is really interesting in that so we have like generally Tim Nielsen's team is it's more developed, right?
Yeah.
It's got a lot more skills. But yeah, the Rats of Nims are the one with the natural one turner,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really powerful.
Yep.
And the more developed team is the one that's getting 110 in
Yeah.
inducements because we got a Rat Ogre and a bench on the left
Yeah.
hand side.
Yep.
So I think we're going to see OP Cubby try to do damage, right? Get the Rat Ogre doing something foul, foul with your
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah.
If you can get a Gutter Runner down.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate for him he has no tackle.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's going
it's.
to be hard to get the Gutter Runners down.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be tough, and especially because Goblins that deck has pieces for damage. Like their Storm Vermin are gross.
Yes.
Pile Driver's not so much a factor in this one, but
Though he can try to remove the other Storm Vermin.
yep. Or even the Rat Ogre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Goblin War Chief is a great Gutter Runner hunter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Only
Yeah.
one assist, it's a 3-die.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh gosh. Um. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Rats and Nim just do, similar to this past week where they're like, on offense, gonna one turn. And then and then, get on defense, do that for a while. I'm on offense again. I got a 1 turn. They did get
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah.
It's nice just only having to play defense.
Yep. They did get double on Martin Brisby, right? That just happened.
Mrs. Brisby was AG up in the last match.
Martin Brisby got didn't he just get 2 heads?
Oh yes, yes, oh yes, the double. Yes, Martin Brisby, I believe, did just get 2 heads.
That is a doubles, right?
Yes.
The mutation. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that makes him even better, right? It makes it even harder to screen against him at the other end.
Yep. All it needs from here, I guess, is sure feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like you said, you got the inducements going the other way. And Rats and Nim have the bench. There's not really enough cash here for Tim to do like he could do 1 more journeyman, but that doesn't really put him in the advantage. Like I'd almost see this as like bribe territory, but then again, you don't have a bench, so
yeah, there's no bench, and you might think Wizard because normally Skeeven are good at that, but it could easily be that he never gets to use it because if the Rats and Nim 1 turn,
yeah.
It's even more attractive this game for them to 1 turn every time if there's a Wizard.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, you never get a chance to use it.
I think you probably do a bribe because you have Dirty Player already, and you can just
given you invested in a Dirty Player piece.
Yeah,
it makes sense to give him some support.
Yep, yeah. It keeps it hopefully on the pitch for at least 1 or at least 2 fouls, and then hopefully it's done its job. So yeah, I don't think it changes that much of the match though.
No.
It will just be like what do the Rats and Nim decide to do, and does the damage swing one way or the other? So yeah, Wizard. Tim saying Wizard against Other Skaven is pretty meh. I believe it.
That's my impression. You really want it against bash teams. And he's saying he's leaning bribe, so.
Or even hybrid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this I definitely want to catch this, and I really would love to stream it. So, Tim, if you get that scheduled, Tim, let us know. Or OP Cubby if you're listening too.
Yep. And yeah, and that can just be posting in the REL 4D Discord channel.
Yep. Yeah, we check that for match postings. And I think from here on out, I'm pretty much just looking at matches that aren't going to have a built-in streamer as like potential matches to stream.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I think just giving people a chance to watch the games without having to dial up Blood Bowl 2 is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, ready for the next one?
Yep.
Just realized what this one is. Flyboys versus Sterling Hornets, 2 versus 4.
Yeah.
Hoo. This is going to be a very telling match for Clown Cthulhu. To really see like what, for lack of better words, to see what they're made of. See what their team's made of, because they're missing 2 of their big pieces.
2 big pieces gone, and their losses to Norse, as you well know, and humans are one of the more Norse-like teams. Mm-hmm. Another hybrid team.
Yep.
In the div.
Yeah.
And it's again another team with some some agility increases and nice blitzers and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. There is some similarities here. And the speed to counter theirs, for the most part, right? Like their blitzers. I really like human blitzers.
Yeah, faster team than yours.
Faster team than mine. This is another one I really want to stream if that goes up too, if we can find it. If the timing works out, because I do want to see. Sterling Hornets hasn't taken any damage all season till now. Mm-hmm. So like, what do they do now?
Getting 230 in cash, so that's basically a wizard.
Yeah, 100% that, and I guess probably, babe. Though you do have a little bit of cash, so maybe you spent. Oh, what do you spend it on? Never mind. It's just a babe. I guess you could get an extra Apo if you want to if you want to power Apo,
Yeah.
which they did against me, and then that's when the M&Gs hit, so that you can do that a little more comfortably.
Yeah, that would make sense. I like that. Wizard, spend 20 of your own money, get yourself a extra Apo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you've got, we talked about humans for the last match. They did some damage to orcs, so they're not afraid to punch stuff with gusto, and they've got quite a bit of mighty blow. I think
Though
even more
no
than
mighty
me.
blow tackle.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll take.
The ones we talked about before, this is a relatively dodge light elf team.
That's
The
true.
only dodge that's actually going to be on the field with the two MNGs that are going on is the two blitzers.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everything
Which,
else is a target for mighty blow hits.
yeah. That said, Sterling Hornets uses those blitzers really well to harass your cage, especially that diving tackle one. So not being able, though I guess Major Klepto Brodor could finesse him off, but he's not going to be able to most necessarily do any damage.
Yeah, normally you can assume that if Klepto has the ball or he's in scoring range, he can just run over there because he's dodge and AG4, but
Mm-hmm.
not if you can get Hawk on him.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah. Hawk's the worst. Um, but yeah, I don't know how this will go. Because yeah, you pointed out this is kind of a little bit of a mirror match to their match last week. That could have gone the other way for them. Had some things happen not in their favor, but
Yeah, I don't think it's like Clown Thulu doesn't know how to play this match.
no,
But
no, no.
it is a match he could lose,
Yeah,
and that would again really continue to shake things up.
right. Yeah, we talked about it with the other pro elf team. Like your catchers are really what spice up your team, and they'll be missing two of them, two really good ones, at least for ball sacking and just general defensive harassment. So yeah, definitely would like to check this out. Hopefully it happens at a time I can stream it, or one of us can. Next match, we got All Bark No Bite versus Go Work Orange. And this one is scheduled for I love this 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, there was two. Basically, there was a disagreement in the Discord channel as to which one it is,
Yeah.
and on
Yeah.
Rebel Net it's listed as 4 p.m.
Okay.
Eastern. So I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. 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 Okay.
On Sunday.
Cool. Um. Yeah. Boy. I don't. I don't know. I think with the is this the first time David's giving up inducements or getting inducements? I should say.
Yeah, I don't recall him. Normally, Michael Jackson makes him too expensive to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But Go Work Orange is decently high and out two good pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that looks to me like a wizard.
Yeah. 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 Um. So that'll spice things up.
Note 5 journeyman expected,
That
unless he buys something.
will also be. I mean, that is trending, right? With what he's been match by match, slowly inching that number
So
upwards.
so at the end of the season will be Michael Jackson and 10 linemen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Wood elves can still do some wood elf BS. With the wizard too, that's gonna help. But they're missing a lot of their. I mean, pretty much a lot of their stat ups are just gone. They do have strip ball, which yes, little umph. Where are you at with those sure hands?
Yeah, yeah. His one flaw.
Yep, yep. I mean, I think if there's definitely a world in which the wood elves just because all it takes is one or two things to go wrong, and Wood Elves have pounced and scored because you can't catch up to them once they get the
Yeah.
ball, get away. And
Yeah.
the Wizard could, yeah. This isn't. This is
I think it's
definitely
a
not.
winnable match for David Leclerc, but
Yeah,
he's at risk of taking some damage, and
yeah,
I have things really go against him.
yep. And I know, like, it's a thing to have elves and have loners, but that's got to make it a little tough for doing some things that you want to do.
A few of them is nice. At the point where you have 5, that's you're going to need to sometimes make a dodge with them that actually succeeds, and not just have it be the last 1 or 2 things you do, where it's like, well, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
And 5 is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we definitely see a wizard for the Wood Elves, and we'll see what they can make of it. But yeah, I could see if it starts out with them taking even a little bit of damage and going down some players, it's going to be hard for them to make things happen.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Cool. Oh man. The 4 versus, is that 5 or 6?
6.
Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, I've got one more point. Okay. Oi. Oh,
Yes, we have 2 people tied for 4th.
oh, okay. Gotcha. That's right. Yeah. Me and Flyboys. I don't know. Giving up 160K. I don't think
It's
they're.
not so good for him though.
Yeah. I don't think they're doing a wizard.
Yeah, wizard doesn't make sense. I looked at the star players, and there's not something for 210. That's really nice.
Man,
the good stuff starts coming in at more like 300.
Yeah, totally.
You could do like a blocker merc.
That's true.
Just because it's like, hey, blockers are nice. Good pieces, block tackle.
Could you get guard on it too?
That's an interesting question. That would be 80 over the base price, which is 70, so that would be 150.
Oh,
so
hey,
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, so yeah, that's probably what you do. Okay, now that we've talked through it,
yeah, great.
I would think a blocker with guard, that would work great.
Mm-hmm.
You could do a bribe or even 2 bribes. There is 2 dirty player hobgoblins.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah. Yeah. I know he was talking about how he's not sure about having 5 hobgoblins. If you get that merc, you could probably do away with the unleveled one.
Though I don't know in this match, since you're already getting 160K, I would wait for because
true.
This is a match where he could easily lose hobgoblins, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're going after his team now, the fact that he has so many makes it less attractive. But you're going to blitz his dirty player hobgoblins if there's one exposed, and you're going to hit it with mighty blow, and you're going to pile on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
I mean, at least you're going to be tempted to do all of those things. And if he loses one, if he starts losing hobgoblins, why fire them right now? Save it for when it means you're giving up, a wizard to elves or Skaven or something.
Yeah, good point. They're good chaff at this point. Yeah. This will be. This one, when I was looking ahead, was always going to be a tough match, and even though Tanner Brewers has not been doing damage, does not mean they can't do damage.
Yeah, the expectation is a reversion of me, not continuing of a random trend.
Yeah. Yep. Nice that Peter Cook is out, but so it's like one less mighty blow piece.
Yeah. And that's if he actually wanted that, if he wanted mighty blow, he could do that on his merc as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And since claw is irrelevant against you for most of your pieces, it's basically as good as Peter Cook was.
Yeah, he's got 1 claw piece, and that'll be enough to be mean to Elves and the Yeti or something.
Yeah, I could definitely see the Yeti taking a claw hit.
Yeah.
On the theory that he's your 1 claw piece, and so this could be a match I see where you blitz with a Yeti some.
It is. It'd be nice if it had mighty blow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a potential. Yeah, the Yeti's definitely gonna get more looks than other matches for sure. Yeah, I mean, kind of have to play a bit standoffish. Like, you know, I've, I've even, we've seen Tainted Brewers against Pro Elves where they got into a scrum and somehow the Pro Elves came out unscathed. My team doesn't. I That is not on trend for my team.
Hmm.
We give it as good as we get it, which 15 cas given, 14 cas taken.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Tim
think
Pip giving it as good as he gets too. 5 and 6.
that's true. So true. Yeah, this one I'm gonna have to be on my toes. I mean, it's not gonna be as like, it's not gonna be a quick loss like it could happen with Elves, but it could be like it could really snowball if he gets some removals going.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, this one's scheduled tomorrow night, 8:30.
hmm
That's also when my match is this week.
oh,
So I won't be watching this live. Pimpin, I assume, will be streaming it. So
hmm
I'll be trying to avoid spoilers, and then I'll just watch after my match.
yeah,
So
yeah,
don't message me with your match results.
yeah, son of a bitch, and then yeah, just a bunch of exclamation points afterwards.
Yeah,
That's when you'll know I'm still mourning Partey.
yeah, yeah.
We might see Boomer.
Yeah, yeah. We've there's been talk of that Boomer might show up some point, and
Ah, gosh.
maybe this will be the week.
Yeah, we'll see if I don't forget him this time.
Yeah, because he's just 10K given the Nuff alter,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's
and giving them
why you have him.
170 instead of 160 is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Kinda. Looking forward to being over.
Yeah.
Just like when you're facing a block guard Chorf team, it's like nothing's gonna happen quickly, uh,
Hmm.
and you're just gonna hope to be able to fend them off.
Yeah. But yeah, it should be an interesting match. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I was a little disappointed when my match got scheduled to be during it, but it was just the
Mm-hmm.
only time that worked for us. So
Yeah, yeah,
it is
yeah,
what it is. But it's yeah,
yeah.
it's two interesting teams that are both like, you look at the skills that actually been taken on level ups, and they look, except for the agility increases, look very similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
like, oh no, it's the built-in, like it's AV9 on the right and it's frenzy and all that on the left. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and both teams that really need a win to continue to stay in it. I think.
It
Um,
isn't a way sort of like two teams enter like upper middle of the pack. One team is going to leave moving upwards. One is going to leave falling behind.
yep.
Unless you
Yep.
tie, in which case you'll both be sad.
Yeah, the ties are lame, but it could go that way. This is one where like risking it all for a win could mean like both my berserkers die or something like that. Like it's tough to risk for a win against chores
Yeah.
sometimes, which is how they keep the rest of us down. But we'll see. We'll see. Cool. So let's move on. Oh wait, that was the last one.
That's the last one.
Oh wow, just like that, coming in under time this week.
By our standards, at least.
Yeah. So yeah. Um. Any any party words? I think I already said like for those of you who are in matches without streamers, please let us know. We're very interested in streaming if we can.
Yeah.
Um, my weekend is kind of all over the place, but maybe I'll be able to stream. Like to stream at least one match this week. It's fun streaming. It's a little it's
Yeah.
a,
Yeah.
it's a little
I
different.
would. It'd be great if we could get a stream in.
Yeah.
Even a 2-person stream would be fun.
Mhm. Mhm.
Been a couple weeks since we got a new one of those.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you to everyone who's watching either live or afterwards. Those of you who stuck out and chatted during it are
Mhm.
it's you showed considerable perseverance and lasting.
Yeah, and thanks for folks that are commenting. I've gotten a couple comments on YouTube, and that's always nice to see. So yeah, shouts out to those folks, and hopefully we continue to to bring some information you can use, or at least laugh at us about. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and we always appreciate, like, people show up and they'll be like, no, you're wrong about this, and that's good.
Yeah.
People will benefit from that when they come back and watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. So yeah, I think with that, good to wrap up.
yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching, and have a good night. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.